Hey there. Today we're heading out on a hike. This is actually a place called Goose Prairie Preserve, and it's a lot of wide open spaces. I'm out here in the middle of nowhere. They do have a visitor center. Looks very barren. Looks like nobody's there, maybe one car. There's a big lake out here as well. This is near Morris, Illinois. But tons of trails through the tall grass. So we're gonna go hiking and see what we see. Well, here we are on the trail. I opened up my app, All Trails, to see where we're going. It looks like just a lot of wide open trails. Looks like we might go back out here around by the lake, but mostly through the tall grasses. Looks like this is, old gravel roads, so should be pretty nice. There's an old windmill. I think there's an old farmhouse over here. This is kind of Illinois prairie in the fall. Beautiful colors. Looks like this old windmill is actually still functioning. The wind turns the propeller up there, which turns a cam, which has a long shaft that goes up and down to the water pump. And it's up and down, pumping fresh water into the ground. Well, funny story. I'm down this trail following on my All Trails app. There's going to be a big loop that was supposed to be about 3 miles maybe. The guy on the Kubota pulls up and says, "Hey, listen, you're not on an established trail. I hope you know that you're not on a real trail. This is just a maintenance road. I'm out here doing maintenance." And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, I'm just trying to hike. I got my sticks, I got my pack. Obviously, I'm out hiking. I'm just trying to get some miles and such." And he's like, "Oh, no, you're going to have to turn back." I said, "Well, can I just go on up around here?" And I showed him on my All Trails app. I said, "Hey, this is where the dotted line is, where there's actually a trail. Can I go on up around here just to get the distance in?" No, you're going to have to go back up here and turn left. This is not a maintained trail that's open to the public. Now, look at this. To me, this very much looks like a maintained trail. I see some signs on the side here that say no hunting. There's a sign up here that said shotgun area when in season. So this looks like a maintained trail to me, but I kind of got in trouble about that. He said, "Go back up to the visitor center, get yourself a map." Oh, there's a visitor center way over there. "Get yourself a map." Well, we just saw the visitor center. Looked like it was closed down. Nobody was there. Everything's grown up. So he's like, "Oh, no, there's a container up there that has some maps for established trails, and that's where you should be going." Okay, yes, sir. I ain't trying to get in trouble or be anywhere I'm not supposed to be, although this is all federally owned or state owned and managed land, but that's okay. We'll do the right thing. Here we go. This says restricted area, hunting by permit for shotgun. That's why I was asking the guys, like, "Hey, I saw the sign that said hunting by shotgun. I just wasn't trying to be in someplace, where they're doing bird hunting or someplace I shouldn't be." He's like, "Yeah, this is just a maintenance trail. So this is not a people trail. You need to go on back up towards the visitor center." I showed him a different area on my All Trails app. He's like, "Oh, no, yeah, you're supposed to be walking on that line. You can go over in that other direction back towards the east, and that'll be just fine. No problem." So that's what I'm doing. We're heading back. No problem. Just extra steps, extra view of the outside, extra breathing in of the beautiful outdoor air. So it's all good. Well, here we are back up at the real quote unquote trail by the windmill with the water pump. And the old covered wagon. Yeah, this looks a little more maintained, designed for public use. Here's the sign that I saw. Entry prohibited, visitors are remain on site designated trails. I could see where that would be entry prohibited. You don't go this way. But it also does look like a site designated trail. Oh well, my bad. Well, here we are coming up on a old log cabin. I wonder if this is like an original cabin that was in the prairie. I'm sure these nice maintained trails weren't a part of it historically. Probably neither was that split rail fence. Looks like an old dried up pond back here as well. Let's see what we've got here. Looks pretty authentic. Oh, nice lumber work. Maybe some boards are getting rot there on the side. I don't know if the roof work is original, but interesting. Illinois Prairie. There's a old log cabin on the trail. Ah, there you go. Now you know this is Craig's cabin in the middle 1830s. John and Agnes Craig came to Illinois from New Jersey. After finding land near Mazon, they built a log cabin. There's some pictures of it. The reconstruction work. In the spring of the year, the Goose Lake Prairie Partners held a festival around the cabin to revisit life as it was in the Illinois Prairie during the 1800s. Oh, the original cabin was about 10 miles southwest of here. Now you know. Okay, here we go again. Oh, let's see. On the app, the trail says it goes on this way through the grass, the mowed grass. But what does this say? Restricted Area A, hunting by permit. I don't see any keep out. I don't see any stay on maintained trailways. I'm gonna take the loop on the grass. I don't have a hunting permit, but I'm not hunting, so I think we're good. My trail app shows where somebody else is taking this route. We're a little bit off the paved trail, but it's not a four-wheeler trail. It's a mowed grass trail. Looks pretty good. I think we'll be all right. If not, our old buddy in the Kubota may come back around and run me off again. What's it gonna do? My mom used to say, they can kill you, but they can't eat you. I don't know, what does that even mean? Come across an old dried up pond over here beyond the weeds. And that big white bird over there. Not sure, I think it might be a pelican. I know pelicans are migrating through here right about now. I've seen a lot about that in the news. Or it might just be a snowy white egret. I think that's the best I can get with the zoom. Interesting. Well, this is kind of nice. We've got, oh, I thought this was a privy along the way. Most trails don't have these nice bathrooms. This is a photo blind. Let's step in here and see if we can see that pond better. Ooh, kind of nasty. And the windows are a little yucky. Yeah. Whew. Look at the flies, look at the hornets. Yeah, I'm afraid somebody may have used this photo blind as a privy, as I first suspected. Ugh. All right, on with the trail. It's kind of interesting out here in the middle of the tall grass prairie where you really can't see over your head. Makes you feel kind of small. Just walking along a little path cut through. If you look over here, I don't know if you can see it, but see those red and white towers? That's actually a power plant that's pretty close. Seems close, you know, we're on this prairie and everything's wide open. That's actually about 2.5 miles away, so kind of makes you feel small in the middle of God's green earth. There you go. Your Illinois tax dollars at work. Everything is protected by law. Do not pick the flowers. Do not hunt the wildlife. Do not burn the firewood. Everything is protected by law. Well, it's a nice fall day, Sunday in mid-October right now, and I thought, oh, I'll go out and take a drive, see where I might be able to find a state park or a good place to go hiking and see the trees as they start to color, as they start to change into yellow and oranges and reds. I love the beautiful trees in the fall. Well, I ended up in the prairie. Yeah, here we are in a big prairie preserve, a natural Illinois prairie with a few little scrub trees here and there, but in and of itself is very, very beautiful as the weeds or the fall colors start to come out of the prairie grasses. They start to turn brown, red, and tan. It's just as beautiful. I love this. If you look around and as things dry up in the fall, every plant turns to seed. The fruit, the flower, everything turns to seed to be distributed, over the wind to another part of the ground and to be planted again. So as I take a closer look, I'm walking along and there are these reeds hanging over where everything's dried up and gone to seed. And this guy here hung by a spider web. Looks like an old cottonwood seed or something there. That's hung by a spider web on the end of that reed. Most likely came from this plant right here. There you go, those cottony seeds. Oh no, here's the sign again. Restricted Area C, hunting by permit, shotgun. A couple of trails off here. Well, not really trails. It says restricted area closed to hunting that way. Is this a real trail? Should I be on this? I'm gonna say yes, this is a real trail. and I'm going on the Prairie View Trail. I do have my lunch, a meal with me. I could go down there and make a picnic, but I think I'm gonna go back here, go all the way down. I think there's a little lake. According to my app, there's a little lake down at the end and a loop that goes around it and then comes back. So we'll see. Okay, beautiful prairie here. You know, there's all kinds of birds and animals and stuff that live through here. I saw some of the signage that there's plenty of deer and also critters, and one is coyote. Well, I just came up on this spot that's muddy, and those are some pretty good sized coyote paws. Holy moly, those are big. Let me just hold my hand. Yeah, those are big. Oh, we'll see. I will definitely be careful and steer clear of coyote critters. Now, I've come up on those on trails before, and generally they're scared of you, or more scared of you than you are of them. So I'm not too worried. The only thing to worry about is when they're in a pack and there's 4 or 5 or 6 of them. Then they get a little more brave. So pretty good size back there, coyote or wolf. So we shall see, but I'm not too worried. And I have my weapon, my hiking sticks. I don't know if that's going to help with a coyote pack attack, but yeah, I'm not too worried about it. Should be just fine. I'll just act real big and make a lot of noise. Well, here we are at the top of the hill. I'm at the end of the loop. Actually, this loop goes around this pond over here. So, so far, about 5 miles worth of hiking. But what a beautiful view. Look at the waters over here. Look at the prairies and the fields. Beautiful, beautiful. And if you look across the way, right on the other side of that pond, there's the visitor center way over there on the other side of the prairie. So that's kind of where we came from. Wow, what an amazing view. Gorgeous. Well, I'm trying to decide if I stop here and have a bite to eat or a snack, take a rest, or go ahead and step it on out. How far till sunset? The park closes at sunset. I know a great way of figuring that out. Okay, so a great way to figure out how far till sunset is hold your hand all the way out at arm's length and count your fingers. So each finger is about 15 minutes. So actually that's about an hour, and we use the other hand, but I'm on the camera. That's about an hour and a half potentially. Good to know. That's plenty of time to have a bite to eat and hike all the way back. Well, what I brought was a nice, delicious, warm tortilla soup, and I've got my Stanley Adventure 2-cup cook set. I got some fuel. I have this. What this actually is in case there's any wood, I could really build a fire down in there. Put these little tent stakes through here as a platform for my Stanley set, and heat my water that way. But of course I don't want to burn any of this Prairie Preserve firewood. Bad news is there's not much wood anyway, so I'll just use the cook stove. All right, so I'm all set. Let me just get this flame going. Turn that on. There you go. Put a little bit of water, and my Stanley. Perfect. Put the lid on and just let it cook. All right, that'll take 2 or 3 minutes to heat up to boiling water, and then I'll mix it in with my famous freezer bag meal. Yum, yum. Yep, here we go. Got some tortilla soup. Mix that with a couple of cups of water. This is actually the fajita flavored chicken. I'm just going to empty that into here and then pour the boiling water in, let it set for a few. Okay, obviously that is boiling. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, big rolling boil. Turn this off. Oh yeah, take that off and I'll just put that in here and should be delicious. Oh yeah, there we go. It's got a little bit of rice, some beans. I think there's some potatoes and vegetables and peppers, all kinds of flavor in there in addition to my fajita chicken. So I'll just clean up my cookware, pack that up. By the time that's done, it should be ready to eat, and I'll enjoy a beautiful dinner and a beautiful view. Well, it may not look like much, but it smells delicious, and it's going to be yummy. Some tortilla soup. I think this is actually store-bought Bear Creek brand. So I just split that up into a couple bags and added some chicken to it, and it is good stuff. So I'm going to sit here and enjoy this food and the view. We'll see you soon. Well, on the way back, should be a beautiful trip back. Yeah, look at that. Gorgeous. Amazing. We'll be kind of heading off into the sunset a little bit. Should be beautiful. Well, here we are. That closed the loop for the scenic overlook up on the hill. Oh, that was beautiful. So glad that I took that route. So glad I went that way. I think it's a mile and a half, maybe 2, back to the visitor center. So we'll see you there. Boy, it's beautiful out here on the prairie. As the sun's going down, beautiful colors. Love it. We're just around the corner on the path, not too far away from the visitor center. So wrapping it up. Thanks for joining me today on the hike. This has been awesome. And stay tuned for more awesome adventures. And don't forget to just take time to enjoy the beautiful outdoors. Stop what you're doing, turn off the TV, walk away from the screens, and go outside. Hey folks, we made it back. That was awesome. I would highly recommend the Prairie View Trail. That's a great trail with beautiful views at the end around the lake and the ponds and stuff out there. So beautiful sunset hike. Loved it. Until next time. Go outside, have an adventure.